If you're struggling with FC26, you can come join my Patreon. So it's patreon.com/nil, guys. We've got so many videos. If you're struggling with defending right now, you can watch my defending series and improving FC26. And if you remember, if you don't get better after 1 month, we will refund your money. By the time you watch this video, more videos are going to be uploaded. And of course, we have different sections: squad builders, meta mechanics, real life football examples as well, for those who like the theory of the real game being applied to the virtual pitch. Links down below in the description. What's going on, guys? Let's go over some changes that I made post patch. Now, normally I never make a video make changes this quickly, but I think I have. First of all, if you're on console, go to online settings, matchmaking options, and turn crossplay off. If you are playing against PC players, I'll be honest, I'm not going to say everyone's a hacker on PC, but on the elite level, there's so many hackers on a high end. So definitely turn off crossplay. That way you don't get matched against hackers, you don't ruin your weekend league, and also turn appropriate location matchmaking on. Now, going back into the settings, I've changed a few things. Now, after the patch, I was doing the high powered low drivens. They've nerfed it, but low drivens are still effective. I think it's probably one of the best play styles you can get for shooting that in a finesse shot. But I think I would definitely recommend precision shooting now. Now, I think it's fine when you get angles like this and you're versing, I suppose you can say, the players that can't defend. You can get these clear angles. However, I do feel like some of those wider angles that you normally get into, I'm not saying there should be a goal on assisted shooting, but I can definitely notice a big difference. For example, like here, that could easily be a goal. So I would say I'm going to record all my videos on assisted shooting because I need to make it as basic as possible. So for everyone that watches my videos, they can go ahead and learn it and they can just watch what I do and implement it very easily. But when I'm playing on my main account, I am using precision shooting. Don't switch between them because it confuses me when I play, but just stick with one. But I would say if you're not considered it now, I would say I'll probably recommend it. Like before, it was like you can maybe do it, and I still think you can. But I think anyone that's like really wants to push their next level, definitely use precision. I'm still going the same with everything else, like ground pass, still on assisted. We're not changing that to semi or anything like that. There's been a lot of people asking me about that. No, crossing, again, that could be personal preference. You can put it on semi if you want to. I made a video on this where I've already explained how semi crossing works. Check out that video. I show you some video examples. We're not going to go over that today, but I leave mine on assisted. I'm still just doing driven low crosses and low crosses in general. Has to be on late. Now, defending, I'm still using tactical defending. You can use advanced defending. People say you have to use advanced defending. I think that's absolutely incorrect. I think the tackle animations are actually good. The problem is people can't defend. They're spamming the tackle button. They're spamming the circle button and saying, oh, why can I not get the ball? So my defending is going to be on tactical. But I think there is a limit and you can use advanced defending. I think it's up to you what you want to choose. Most pro players still use tactical defending. So if they're using it, then of course you can use tactical defending. If they're not using advanced defending yet, think about it for yourself. Player lock has to go on, by the way. We're going to do player lock quickly. It has to go on 100%. Right stick switching, I leave it on classic. This has to be on none. Ball I'm sticking with. Now, this is one thing, that the next setting that I'm talking about. Now, I've had an issue defensively, and it's not because of my switching. It's because of L1 switching. Now, L1 switching has been very consistent over the past 5-6 years. Normally when you press the L1 button, it normally chooses the right player and it's almost instant. This year, I don't know if it's just me, but more people are talking about it now. I asked people at the beginning, people were like, I don't really notice it. But have you ever found that maybe when you're defending, it just switches to the wrong player? I can't really explain it, but I feel in situations like these, sometimes the wrong player gets selected. And I feel like it's not the wrong player, it's that the logic of which player is getting selected has changed. And I feel like when I'm defending, I'm finding it to be a bit of an issue. I don't know if you're, let me know down below in the description if it's just me, but I'm honestly like my L1 button is not the player that I want to switch to. I can't explain it. You will know what I'm talking about. So what I have gone to is closest to the ball. Now, I think this is better for pressing as well. This is the better option. Goal side, you don't want to use that. Closest to the ball, because at least you can choose your CDMs first. That's what I'm using, especially inside the box. I find that when I'm jockeying, sometimes I press the L1 button, the game's just choosing a player that's not involved in the defensive phase. Like it's someone far away that shouldn't be the right player. Let me know if you're having the same issue down below, but I've had it in the beta and I'm having it now as well. So I just thought maybe it's just me, but I was looking back at my gameplay, analyzing my gameplay. I was thinking, you know what? That's the wrong decision. So I would definitely give it a go. Again, if you're doing this just before the weekend league, probably don't try this, but during the week, maybe like Monday, Tuesday, if you're struggling with the L1 button, maybe it's not switching to the right person, definitely give closest to the ball a go. I think it's a big difference for me anyway. And I feel like I'm getting the more consistent L1 switches. The same with teammate contain. Something that teammate contain indicator is above the wrong player's head. So for me, closest to the ball, I can use teammate contain much more effectively because I can get the player closest to the ball and let them apply teammate contain, and I can man mark with my player. That's what I've changed. That's probably a big difference in defending it's made for me. Try it. If you're struggling with L1 switching defensively, try it. Turn this off as well. Sensitivity is personal preference. I'm still figuring this out. I'm going to be honest. I'm just trying a bit all over the place at the moment. But my right stick switching is fine. Simplified skill moves, and that's that. Basically everything done. And if you really want to see my camera settings, I've definitely turned off the Ultimate Team compared to the camera. In the beginning, I gave it a go. I actually really like the top-down view, but the problem is the perception, and then the crowd. Then if you have like, I like to have just a quick thing in case you're wondering about how to do that thing. Some of you might have seen in my gameplay. I got the high contrast mode. I use the high contrast mode, so you can do it over here, and it's actually really cool. Like you can adjust the pitch saturation. But the reason why I don't like, so this is what I do. I go like this. I go blue. Some of you ask me, hey Neil, how do I do that? I like it. It actually makes a big difference. To see things very clearly, it makes a big difference. But you can do something like this, and you can change the ball color. Actually, is really cool. But the question I get asked is, why am I not using it? It's because you see with this high contrast mode, it affects the pitch saturation. So I put it all the way on green, or I put it on gray. Sometimes you might have seen from some of my videos. The downside is on this one, the crowd doesn't change color. So that the pitch could be gray and then the crowd is bright blue. So I've just turned the Ultimate Team camera off. I don't want it on. I'm using co-op again. 0 zoom, power shot off, 0 zoom, 20 height. And they've got rid of ball tracking speed. I wanted to mess around with that, but they removed the ball tracking speed. I don't know why. But that is my updated settings. And some of you have been wondering, like, Neil, don't you use custom controls? Now, this is important. When I record a video, now I use classic controls when I'm making a video. So whenever you see me do a video, I use classic controls. But actually, I use old school ISS controls, PES controls for any of you old school players. Only OG players will know. But square to shoot. And to be honest, I think it's better. The only thing I think I've got wrong here is the run button should be R2 for analog sprint. But I prefer the shoot button next to the right analog stick. It's easy for me to use my thumb. I can do a fake shot like this, very, very easy. The shoot button's next to thing. And also teammate contain. Teammate contain being an R1 is the most useless button, because when you're defending, sometimes it depends how you hold your controller. There's a video on this on a Patreon, but I hold my controller like this, not like this. I use an old school like way. This is the better way. And I use teammate contain with square, so I can easily press teammate contain, switch players, and press the tackle button, which is X, very easily. And a little trick, if your tackle, I'm not saying you should change, by the way, use what you normally, but in case you're wondering, a little trick. If your tackle button is X, what happens is sometimes instead of making a tackle, you make a pass. What I mean by that is, let's say your opponent has the ball away in possession, and sometimes if you go in and press X, the game registers as a pass, not a tackle. So you can actually get the counterattack going straight away. Just a quick bonus added tip, but that is the settings that I actually use. And that is the settings that I use. And just give another bonus, if you have an issue with your settings keep changing, go over here, go to profile, and then just go to save FC26 profile, and that should fix and stop your settings from resetting every single time. And don't forget, when you get FC26, you come to my Patreon series, patreon.com/Neil, guys. If you don't get bet after 1 month, we will refund your money. We've got the whole defending series that we made last year that everyone's watching. And of course, we've got some more details on crossplay, stuff like that. And also how I use my controller, in case you're wondering how I hold my controller settings, and then the camera angles, comparison videos, and of course, more videos going to be uploaded as time goes on. We've got the meta mechanics section, of course, timeless fundamentals, everything like that. So if you're new to the game, this is definitely the way to go. If you don't get bet after 1 month, we will refund your money. That is the Neil Guys guarantee. Links down in the description. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace.